Before the questions, if anyone has, I just like to make an announcement. As I've been saying over the last couple of days, there'll be a New Year's Eve class. And it'll start, actually on Zoom, you can only start classes uh, a half hour, like 11:30, 12 o'clock. You can't do 11:45. So I will send out the email. Yes?
I mean, you can start the class anytime you want, but yeah, the invitation has to say 11:30.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Uh, I will send out an invitation for 11:30 in the evening. The class will start at 11:45. So try and be there on time. It'll go on for maybe a half hour, 40 minutes. And it's just kind of a good way to start the new year. I mean, the whole purpose of the class, literally, is to have a quiet mind, open heart, grounding, centeredness, chi, rootedness inside, and to greet the new year that way, instead of with all these resolutions that never get done anyway, to greet the new year in an open state, and let the universe, let God, let spirit determine the things that we're going to have to do in the new year. But we will embrace it by not thinking in our brain, well, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do the other. And of course, you have 10 things you got to do, and maybe a half of one gets done. But just an open mind, quiet mind, an open heart, being centered inside, embracing the new year, the new cycle, the new change. And maybe if we can truly learn to do that, we could embrace the new day, the new hour, the new minute. Every moment has something new to give us. If we're open inside, if we're not open inside, understand we miss the whole purpose of living in the now, of being alive. So let's greet the new year that way, with that kind of openness, that kind of, in a heart where there's joy, there's happiness, there's love, there's gratitude that we bring to the new year, not expecting, well, the new year is going to bring that to us. We bring that to the new year. Then the new year can bring to us whatever we're supposed to have. And we're open to receive it and learn from it and grow because of it. So I think, to me, that's a great way of starting the year. I haven't done one of these classes in a while, the New Year's Eve classes, but I was thinking about it and I said, why not? And if people come and do this, my God, what a way to start the year. Also, I usually have a 1 o'clock class on Tuesdays where people can attend from Europe and Israel and in the Middle East. And I'm not going to have that class on Tuesday. I'm just going to have a class at midnight class, welcoming the New Year class. And then on Wednesday, I usually have a class at 7:30 in the evening. And I also am not going to, I'm going to take a rest on Wednesday. I just need a day off. So there will be classes on regular schedule starting Thursday and Sunday, etc. But Tuesday and Wednesday, there'll only be one class, and that's that midnight class welcoming the new year. Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask? I mean, it took me years to learn that we are born on the earth to learn how to be happy people. And we interfere with the process. We have all these expectations that life itself is supposed to bring us all these happy things. And it never does. It brings us results and things and money and family and this and that, but it doesn't make anybody happy. We have to learn how to do that for ourselves. That is our covenant with God, with higher energy, to learn how to keep the human heart open. And as I've said over and over again, happy people are enlightened people. But find a happy person, it's really like the Holy Grail, for God's sake, finding the Holy Grail. And we're born here to learn how to do this. We come into the earth that way, with these sweet little creatures, that nobody can take their eyes off of. Everybody wants to hug and squeeze and love. And then what happens? By the time we're 5 years old, we have been transformed into something else. And I always say spiritual energy is neither positive or negative. It's energy. It becomes positive and negative when it enters a human being. And if a person is chaotic and crippled inside, an emotional mess, and that's what happens to the energy. And that's what they give off to the world. If a person's heart's open, there's joy, they've learned how to live unconditionally with love, that's what they give off to the world. That's what how the energy flows through them. That is the job of a human being. And we can't lay this on God. That higher energy is just energy. And it manifests on the earth contingent upon the way a human being is inside himself or herself. And from the earliest ages, we're trained to be kind of little wacko people. We really are trained that way. All the discipline and dogma and no and don't and but da thub da goes on and on and on that is drilled into people. And when that Shakti comes in, that's what it becomes. Until a person learns to use the Shakti to transform themselves into a child of God. So I think starting a new year that way would be a very, very good thing. I hope people make time to attend this. I never know who's going to be here. So I hope people make time to attend. I'll be there. And if there's one person or two, or 25 or 50, whoever's there, will enter the new year try to enter with quiet minds, open heart, rooted, grounded, with a lot of chi and balance in ourselves, transforming the human to the spiritual. Does anyone have a question about any of this? Now, what I ask of people is not easy to do, and I understand that. And I have, after doing this for so many decades, I have a lot of patience with, how difficult it is to transform oneself. But you got to know the enemy, and the enemy isn't something out there. It's inside each and every human being. That's where the real enemy is, not outside us. We like to blame the external, and we always think we're going to fix it, and it never gets fixed. But the real enemy is inside each and every human being. And that enemy is actually not an enemy, it's a friend, because it is telling you your condition and what you have to work against and what you have to do about changing inside yourself. So it's not really an enemy, it's just God's way of working on us, teaching us what we have to do about ourselves. So don't get upset at yourself. Just be grateful. Okay, this is me. This is what I have to work with every day. I will work with it. I will transform it. I will bring it into the chakra below the navel. I'll turn it into chi. I'll turn it into an open heart. I'll transform the chaos into a quiet mind and be grateful for the chaos, because it's a constant reminder that only the energy, higher energy, is infinite in the universe. The rest of us have to spend our lives growing, getting closer and closer to perfection. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? I hope it's clear what I'm talking about. I think it's very important, this, because it makes us begin to see why we're here, what we have to do, not be upset at ourselves, to make friends with ourselves. And to understand that we have the capacity as human beings to transform all of the madness into love. We can do that. Not other people's madness, our own. Our own. Which gives us the capacity to deal with other people and their stuff. Transgressions, trespassing, all the stuff people do to promote their self-importance in life. People don't grow up. They're 50 years old and emotionally they're 8. Really, it's a very interesting way to see people. And then you have patience with them. They have to still grow up. Does anyone have a question? Anyone? No questions today. No more. So there will be meditation tomorrow evening. And I'll be there. Hope you'll be there. And God bless you all. And we're getting closer to the new year. And let's try to go into the new year with an open heart, a quiet mind, grounding, and transforming all the chaos into a spiritual life. It could be a great way to go into the new year. So God bless you all. And there'll be class tomorrow evening. And I'll see everybody tomorrow.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Very much,
Thank you,
Stuart.
Stuart.
Thank you,
Good
Stuart.
night, everyone. Good night.